Hey, yeah, I'm gonna live react to One Piece chapter 1035. It's 3 in the morning, but I don't know. I've had a pretty good day so far, so this is a good thing for me to do before I end up sleeping. Excuse me. Anyway, let's start doing this. All right. Zoro first. So I've actually already read the spoilers for this, so this isn't like a true live reaction, but I did eventually want to see like what the art looks like, and reading the chapter by its on its own is much different than just straight up. Well, not much different, but it is different than reading the spoilers. So yeah, just Germa 66 escaping Whole Cake Island on the cover. I really wonder how they did that though. I really wonder. I mean, dude, they escaped Big Mom. I don't know, man. I mean, they are the Vinsmokes. It's not like the Vinsmokes are necessarily like bitches, but it's Big Mom, dude. I don't know. Anyway, actually interested to see more of this cover story because I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure it'll be good though. I have faith in Oda. Yeah, Sanji beats Queen here, a heavy blow. You know what? And it's not so much the fact that Queen has lost. I just didn't feel that the last like couple of attacks in the last chapter in 1034, they didn't feel very like final blowish or like deciding blowish. So I'm wondering if this is going to be like Zoro's King, like if this is going to be like the ending. And I was actually talking about, well, I'll talk about it when I get to the actual panel, but yeah, so Queen's defeated. And he's not an Onigashima, so I wonder if him being part of Mads, he's not going to be on the island no more. I mean, he's defeated, he's out. So I want he's probably got some sort of role to play, like in the future. He's part of Mads with Vegapunk and Judge, or he was part of Mads with Vegapunk and Judge and Caesar. He has sufficient knowledge of that, and the big mom pirates are still at the bottom of the waterfall, so maybe they rescue him or something. I don't know. CP0 is still on its way. So Queen's fate is very interesting, and honestly, there's a lot of people's. Or actually, I've read the spoilers, but let me get to the actual panel before I even start talking about it. Sanji with the deciding look. Yeah, see, it's good that see, I'm so glad like the Chuji, the mouse, that he remembers this because he had the mice when he was feeding him. Yep. He's about to be surrounded by hella women. So it seems like so now we go to Zoro versus King. So it seems like Zoro has learned how to infuse his attacks with Conqueror's Haki. Yep. Yeah, and I'd already seen King's face like through the spoilers anyway. So just as I thought, when the flame on his back is out, he's faster, but his defenses get weaker. So that's interesting. So I don't. I'll have to go back and like reread some of the chapters. But did we ever see an instance of like the flame like not being there? I'm sure. I mean, knowing Oda, I'm sure there was. My whole thing. I was thinking like my thing about King was that I was thinking that he was like his shtick or his like secret power or whatever you want to call it was his control over oxygen, because oh, what the hell, I got something on my nose, what the fuck. I thought it was his control over oxygen, because so one, he's controlling fire, right? And the thing about the Lunarians is, right, since they were on top of the red line, and they were, their land was called the land of the gods before the descendants or the ancestors of the world government came and made Marijoa. The fact that they were called the land of the gods and that they controlled fire, I'm pretty sure is some sort of allusion to Prometheus. So if you guys don't know, in Greek mythology, Prometheus was the man who introduced fire to humans. He stole that gift from the gods, and then he was punished by the gods for doing that. So I think the Lunarians here, in general, there's some sort of allusion to Prometheus, right? And what do you need for fire for it to burn? you need oxygen. You need oxygen. So um, yeah, so I mean that was one thing, right? Like his use of fire, you need oxygen, but also the fact that he has a flying fruit, right? Like oxygen is something that you breathe in, and what do you breathe in? You breathe in air, and what do wings and flying people all have in common? What's the element they use? Wind and air. So I was thinking, not just those two things. There's actually a third thing, right? So him controlling fire, him having a flying fruit, and then his name being Lunarian. Lunar means is it means moon, right? So what is out there in space? There's no air. There's no well, there is oxygen, but there's no breathable air. So I was thinking all these things together. It was King would have something to do with oxygen, maybe. And actually, there's a fourth thing: the fact that his skin was darker, like blood cells and hemoglobin, they carry oxygen, right? So uh, back, I think it's like your arteries they carry it to the heart, and then the veins they carry it away from the heart. Or I might be messing the order up, but when you can glow, you can glow blue, or you can appear blue, right? When you have is it a deficiency or an overabundance of oxygen? I don't know, but the fact that he had darker skin, the fact that he had flying fruit, the fact that his name he is a Lunarian, and the fact that he can control fire. I thought all this stuff was a what do you call it? Something to do with oxygen, but no, it's not that. So just as I thought, when the flame on his back is out, he's faster, but his defenses get weaker. That's a pretty interesting. Like I don't know. That's kind of oddly specific, I would say. And yeah, now we finally see King's face, and man, King looks so dope, man. He looks like a guy. He looks like freaking Orlando Bloom, like some version of Orlando Bloom. And the thing about King, right? The fact that he's a Lunarian, that he is from a place called the Land of the Gods, or that his race were referred to as gods. Um, his design, I think, is very. It is telling of a mythological or some sort of a mythological or religious, if you can, sort of person. Because Middle Eastern people, when you see them dress in like their garbs, like when especially I think Muslims when they do their Mecca in Africa especially, and they cross the desert. I forget what it's called. They call it a Majid or something. Haji, I think that's what it's called, a Haji, when they make that trek on foot to the Mecca. But what was I saying anyway? But he looks like very much like that sort of person, because Middle Eastern people, they tend to be like a little, and not just like Pakistani people or Iraqi people or Iranian people. I mean, they can be fair and light skinned, but even people like from Israel, or people, they may not consider it, or they may not consider these countries or think about these countries when they're talking about the Middle East. But yeah, he seems almost like a bit Middle Eastern, if you will, to me. I don't know. They say, yeah, he has white hair, black wings, and dark brown skin. So that gives off a very like mythological and religious look to me, and the hair even, like the braids and all that. The hair looks pretty sick. So it's like he has like and there's something almost very very Skypeanish about him, which makes sense. He has wings. We'll see if that has any relation like in the future, but yeah, very, very, very interesting. I always wanted to know how he put his goggles on, though. I remember early on when I saw it, like I was wondering, like the goggles seemed to be like transfixed, like onto like his forehead. So I didn't know if you could like take it out and put it like on his eyes or something, or even if those were goggles to begin with. Excuse me. So I always wondered how that worked, but here you can see he just rips his mask straight off. And the thing that you can see about this is that I was when I first made my first theory video about Kaido and his origins, about Vegapunk, which we'll talk about later in this video. I was talking about like horns, and like how horns was like a significant motif of Kaido, like so much so that it's on his sigil, and how those horns signify that he can be part of the ancient giant race that Oars and Oars Junior may be a part of too. And I was talking about like how Sasaki had it, how Kid and Luffy get it after Kinemon changes their outfits. So here it's not a natural horn for him; it's just part of his outfit. When the flame is on his back is out, he's faster, but his defenses get weaker. black wings, white hair, and dark brown skin. 100 million berries. So I forget how much. I'm trying to think of people with similar bounties. It wasn't crocodile like 100 million bounty or so. So it looks like Lunarians, despite being a near extinct race, I mean, it's obviously something to do with the Void Century for sure, right? And if you guys remember when Kuma first appears, like on his Bible with Doflamingo, it's the chapter that debuts the Gorosei, the Five Elder Stars. You see like a woman with the burning sun or so behind her on that Bible. So maybe that woman is meant to represent Lunarians. It's interesting though. I wonder why like they're so okay with like the existence and knowing of Lunarians, because in my opinion they probably were the ones who defeated the Lunarians, right? So, and the fact that he can survive in any environment out there, it has to do. I don't know, man. It just seems like this ability to not take damage. It contributes to that. So it's weird though, right? Like I wonder why. I mean, surely the Gorosei and World Nobles and him they must not be so what's it called? I don't want to say clueless, but so unaware of Kuma and his Bible when he was a warlord. So I don't know. Maybe it's not as important as who's who knowing about Sun God Night God. But that's another thing. Like so, when King, I mean, King is going to be defeated. I'm sure he is because now that Queen has been defeated too, right? But if King has been defeated, what's his fate concern? If CP0 makes its way to Wano, right? So Queen's fate, King's fate, and Kaido's fate too, and then obviously Big Mom's. Who knows? I mean, Big Mom. I still don't know how Big Mom is gonna lose. Like I really don't know. I mean, the only way that I can see her losing is maybe because of Yamato, but that doesn't make any sense. It's got to be Law and Kid to be the ones to defeat him. And you guys have already seen my Big Mom should they lose in this arc video. So if you guys haven't watched that, go ahead and check that out. But anyway, let me continue watching. Yeah, man, he looks dang, dude. You like even like the his open shirt, like with the frilly like collar and everything. That's just straight up like, man, Imperial Fire Dragon. That is such a cool attack, man. Sick attack. The castle was already no Dweitri, man. You better off. Focus on me than throwing a tantrum. And dude, oh man, that looks so sick, man. I wonder what his tattoo is supposed to symbolize. So it's like a almost like a C, like a backward C. It's almost like a laurel, if you will. Wonder if that's supposed to represent anything, like a laurel of leaves. Yeah, and here he goes into. I love how his pteranodon looks. His mode looks. I hope we see his zone mode, or his hybrid zone mode when he's unmasked. I mean, we've got to, right? That's probably him at his strongest. So yeah, I mean, but this fire, I think I mentioned it before. This whole thing is about Rodon from the Gojira, from the Godzilla franchise. You guys know who Rodon is? Look him up. He's like basically a fire pterodactyl. He was in the King of Monsters movie that came out a couple years ago. Man, that's so sick. The way that King just lands. I don't have much time. If we keep dragging these things out, this sword will kill me. Damn. So it doesn't look like he's gonna. Yeah, yeah. I think Zoro kills Kaido is in the mud, man. Not that I ever like put too much stock behind it, but I don't know. I mean, you guys already know how I feel about like Kaido not being potentially defeated by and Big Mom for that matter, like together, if you will. But I've come around to it. I've come around to it. I've come around to Kaido. I've come around to Kaido losing. I just don't think that this signifies that Luffy is stronger than Kaido. No fucking way. And I think they should acknowledge that. My ultimate I think what needs to happen though. Well, I mean, who am I to dictate what should or shouldn't happen, right? But Kaido's and Big Mom's alliance, I feel, is like, and I mentioned this like in that video I was talking about with whether Big Mom and Kaido should lose in Wano. Their alliance is like way too big, like news, for them to just like be defeated straight up in this arc. Their alliance has got to be like a huge, serious thing, and yeah, man, the SSG, that's another thing too. Who knows what the SSG? Imagine if the SSG defeats Shanks. I mean, Luffy's guy has to defeat Shanks at some point in the next arc, like I'm theorizing. And speaking about, I'm still working on that Shanks video, but anyway, I'm dragging on. I should continue. I don't have much time. If I keep dragging things out, this sword will kill me. Yeah, so this wasn't in the spoiler. So King says, I feel close to my limit too. I'm not. Really? Really? I don't know if I really believe. I mean, sure, he was fighting Marco, but Zoro, I can believe it, but because Zoro, he took that damage from Apu, then he fought Kaido, right? So I can believe that Zoro and that Enma is draining his hockey all that much. King, I'm not so sure though. King is at his limit, really? I don't know if I really believe that. I feel close to my limit too. Yeah, I'm just trying. I mean, yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, Marco is tough though. I'm not gonna lie. Marco is tough. Marco is tough, but he's close to his limit. I don't know. Maybe his like fire ability as a Lunarian like drains his stamina or something. I don't know. And he hasn't even used his hybrid zone. I mean, he used his hybrid zone form when he was masked earlier, but I wonder why he's not using it now. His race being special doesn't change anything for me. We're in the same boat then, but you've had your time on top. Now you've got to make room for us. Yes, indeed. King of Hell, three sword style. Don't get ahead of yourself. Kaido-san is going to be the next pirate king. Yeah, so here's the flashback. You're a Lunarian. The government will never let you go. I saw their experiments to test your endurance. I'm leaving this place to form my own pirate crew. So how about it? Are you in Guinea Pig? So people were saying that this was Punk Hazard. I don't. Okay, no, it is Punk Hazard. Yep, you can see it. The PH is in the back, and yep, they're the trees. Yep. So this is young Kaido. He looks damn, he looks pretty sick. Are you in Guinea Pig? Do you really think you'll be able to change the world? I'm the only one who can. I'm the only one who can. I wonder what he. I mean, it's probably got to mean something about like what he learned under Zebek for sure. Because Zebek, I mean, him being at God Valley, he's got to know something about like the Void Sentry and the Will of D, ancient weapons, like all that stuff, right? So Kaido must have learned something from him for sure. Especially because Kaido was the apprentice, right? Whitebeard wasn't really interested in that, right? That like even when Whitebeard died, he said he wasn't really interested in One Piece. So I don't really even think Whitebeard knew of it. I mean, Whitebeard knew of Lunarians, but I wonder if he learned that from Zebek or Roger. I wonder who told him about it. But yeah, it seems like Kaido seems to be a little more, I don't know, knowledgeable, if you will, about stuff, at least compared to Whitebeard. Do you really think you'll be able to change the world? So King's statement here, I'm sure, has to do with his race's almost near extinction. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, right? Yeah, so he must hate the world government. I wonder how they caught him though, like what his past is. Anyway, yeah, it's funny. I kind of think of like Jack Black a little bit when I look at Kaido. It's funny because Jack Black is playing Bowser, and Bowser is like a little like Kaido-ish. So the test subjects have escaped. Your name, Arbol. So I saw this too, right? In the spoilers, Arbor is King's real name. But I wonder if that is some sort of a weird allusion to Abel, like Abel and Cain, who are Adam's sons in Christian mythology. So like Cain kills Abel, right? And Abel is supposed to be like good-hearted and just very nice and innocent, and Cain is a little more violent and yeah, obviously he's more violent. Yeah, he kills Abel, right? So anyway, you're too strong for a name like that. Call yourself king. Stand by me, and I'll never sell you out. So Kaido must have been sold out. So this line of dialogue also stands out to me. Stand by me, and I'll never sell you out. So I remember the pirates concerning, or the Rocks pirates, when they were being talked about, they were always a crew that ended up like killing each other, if you will. So like the way that they got along with each other wasn't very good. And like, how many times have we heard about like betrayal and pirates? Not only in this arc, but in all of excuse me, One Piece. So I wonder. Okay, I thought I was gonna sneeze there, but I wonder if betrayal is a thing for maybe it's something that even happened at God Valley. You know, maybe someone joined Roger and Garp. Whitebeard, maybe. I know Arthur put that in his fan comic about Whitebeard joining them. And don't forget, Rayleigh was there too. Probably Scopper Gaban. You know, from today onwards, you're my right hand man. Worororororo. So Kaido's and Big Mom's goal is to initiate or to bring forth the world of violence with the ancient weapons. And King or Arbor here is supporting him in doing that, which means his goal is probably to either. I wonder if he does he. I mean, obviously he believes in strength because he's part of Kaido's crew, right? And that's kind of the whole thing about Kaido. Like his charisma and his strength is so great that it brought people to him, right? But I also wonder. So he probably wants to take down the world government for what they did to his race in the during the Void Century, and slash or the Lunarians in the past were also pretty like iron fisted as rulers, and I mean they were called their country was called the Land of the Gods. So I wonder if him supporting Kaido here, maybe I don't think King joining Kaido here is just because he saved him at Punk Hazard. I mean, what he was saying earlier about him changing the world, I think King is trying to support Kaido not only to take over the world, not only to you know, destroy the world government, but also to I don't know. There could be a chance that the Lunarians were not necessarily peaceful people in the past either. So I wonder if like him supporting Kaido is indicative of that, if that's suggesting that, if you will. Anyway, let's keep reading. Purgatory Onigiri. The fire is burning, so that didn't make a scratch. So this I wonder what dictates King's fire going on and off. Maybe we'll find out later in the chapter. Imperial Dragon Fire. Man, this attack is so cool. Those flames are like magma. So I'm trying to figure out what did he do here. So it looks like okay. So I'm trying to okay. So Zoro uses the Purgatory Onigiri. I looks like either King dodges it or he deflects it with the sword, right? I don't know. I can't tell what he's doing. The fire is burning, so that didn't make a scratch. Okay, yeah, okay. So no, okay, never mind. So King didn't. Okay, so King didn't block or deflect it. He took it head on because the fire on his back was burning, so it didn't make a scratch. So then he uses Imperial Dragon Fire. Those flames are like magma. So it seems like his fire is gone here. Well, actually, no. Oh no, the fire has transferred to his sword. Maybe. I don't know. So did Zoro dodge the Imperial Dragonfire and then he blocked the sword? I think that's what happened. I don't know. It's not too clear here. I can't really. So then you look at King. Okay, so he changes his sword. Yeah, he changes his sword into that. This when he changes his sword into this, it gives me like the creeps for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's like slight trypophobia. That again. And I won't let you take away my named blade. So we see the black lightning here. So they're not touching. So I think Zoro used advanced Conqueror's Haki here. Is that what he used here? I think that's what it is. I think he used advanced Conqueror's Haki here. Like he infused his blades with it. Right? Isn't that what it is? I'm pretty sure, right? Anyway. Whoosh. He sped up. That means I can cut him. Okay, so he can choose when to turn it on and off. Bird dance. Damn, King just looks so sick though, man. Like just like the open jacket and everything. I mean, of course he's handsome, no homo, but like, damn, like he looks, wow, he looks sick though. You've caught on to how my powers work. You've caught on to how my powers work. That's right. Ready to admit you're beaten. You're blocking now. Thought you said my attacks had no effect. You seem scared now. This is what Luffy said to Kaido when Kaido dodged his attack. Your kind is too inferior for you to have a prayer against it. Okay, so your kind is too inferior. Okay, okay. So so. I wonder. So Lunarians were they? Did they not think highly of humans in the past either? Your kind is too inferior for you to have a prayer against me. That's the kind of thinking I hate the most. I'll remember you as a decent swordsman. If you survive me, I'll scar you so bad that you'll never forget. Imperial Dragon, Imperial Guardian Fire Dragon. Uh, oh shit, okay, here it is. King of Hell 3 Dragon style. Okay, so the Black Lightning's coming out, so he's using Conquer's Hockey. 103 senses. Soaring Jingoku Dragon. Damn, even dragons can be slayed with a single swing. Dang, he cut part of his wing off, yeah. Dang, I don't know if you guys have played Metroid Dread, but final boss against Ravenbeak, that happens too. One of his wings gets cut off in his final phase. And that's the end of the chapter. Oh, damn, his sword broke too. So is King defeated? I don't know, man. So this is what I wanted to talk about too, right? I was talking with my friend, and I kind of feel that the pacing of One Piece, or like lately, has felt a little off. Not in general. I'm not talking about in general, but in these two specific instances. So one instance is right here, right? I don't feel that Zoro versus Kaido, or Zoro versus Kaido, Zoro versus King, right? King's face was revealed in this chapter, and then in the same chapter he gets beaten. That just seems a little odd to me. And we didn't see his awaken or his hybrids. I mean, we saw his hybrid zone form when he was masked, but he didn't even use that against Zoro here. So I don't. Is he beaten? I don't think so, right? I mean, but his sword is broken. I feel like it would be really weird. If Zoro, I mean, but then again, how many chapters have we seen where it's the name of the title, like which Straw Hat versus which member of Kaido's crew, and then that member gets defeated. And here we have King. He's looking on with shock. I don't know. That seems. I mean, this is cool. Like this double spread is sick. And people were saying it was kind of like in Monsters when Ryuma he cuts the dragon in that one shot, that Oda one shot called Monsters. But man, I don't know, dude. Like, I feel like there's just like some stuff that just was not used. And the other thing, the other instance, what I was talking about when it comes to like the pacing, was was Kaido's zone form being revealed, or his hybrid zone form being revealed, right? So Kaido's hybrid zone form was revealed, right, in 1008, which is 27 chapters ago, and 2 chapters later, Luffy unlocked his advanced Conqueror's Haki. I feel like that's just a little too fast to show Kaido struggling, I feel like that's a little too fast to show Kaido struggling. And I think now that I think about it, right, the thing that's putting Luffy on Kaido, I mean, there's many reasons why Luffy and Kaido are kind of like in a standstill right now, right? But the main thing was Luffy unlocking Advanced Conqueror's Haki, right? So I wonder now that Zoro has it. I mean, I don't think he's going to be. I don't think he's going to get to fight Kaido now because of what he said in this chapter, saying that his sword is draining too much of his haki and he's at his limit. But I wonder if he would have awakened it during that fight. Would he have been capable of doing the same thing as Luffy? I mean, obviously Luffy was probably stronger, and he's probably stronger right now because of him having advanced armament hockey as well. But I wonder if Zoro had this, right? If Zoro had this, then what would be the I guess what would be the result if he were to fight Kaido on his own, right? Because again, I said it before. Like five members of the worst generation had to team up, right? And then obviously they weren't strong enough, so they had to separate them. And now what's allowing Luffy to fight Kaido by himself is this advanced Conqueror's Haki. So now that if Zoro has it, right, and he's using it, I wonder what I wonder if how he would fare, right? I wonder how he would fare against Kaido if he would be able to do a one. Now I'm not saying win or lose. I'm just saying be able to like fight him for a stand or like for a whatever duration of time and fight well, right? I feel like this needs a little more explanation when it comes to the hockey too. But yeah, anyway, back to what I was saying about the pacing, right? I feel like if you're gonna debut his Zoan form, Kaido's hybrid Zoan form at the end of 1008, and then have Luffy unlock advanced Conqueror's Hockey, not even really two chapters later, because it was at the end of 1008, right? So it's more like 1.5 chapters that Luffy, or well, nah, yeah, it's two chapters. It's at the end of 1010, but I just feel like Kaido's hybrid zone form hasn't got enough time to shine. So I wonder what's gonna happen with that now. And now that Zoro and King, so I don't know. Like I'm not sure. I mean, if I had to guess, see, I'm still 50-50. I don't. Is King defeated here? Like his wing is cut off, his sword is broken, but we haven't seen his unmasked awakened Zoan form. Right? And that's the thing. Did he and so that's the other thing, right? His flame was on, right? Well, his flame, yeah, his flame, he still has his flame, so I don't think so I don't think he got hurt. Well, no, oh, no, his flame, okay, now when I go up, his flame is actually gone. Oh, his flame is gone. Why did he turn off his flame? What the hell? This is really weird. So, if you go back to the previous page, Kaido's King's flame is gone. So, he did that to get away, right? To use his speed to get away. But then he uses the flame here, right? So why didn't he turn his flame on again? That's what I'm still trying to under. This is a cool chapter, but there's just some stuff that just doesn't make sense to me. So does he lose the flame when he uses a fire attack? Is that what's going on here? Because I don't think was he doing that earlier? Let's go back in the chapter and look at this. I really want to understand this, right? So so that's what it. Okay, so this is all right. Okay, so when Zoro uses the Conqueror's Haki, his advanced Conqueror's Haki, to push himself away from King, when he tries to take his blades away, King's sword is on fire. Okay. So it seems like using flamed attacks takes away the fire on his back. But no, but see, like when I look at it here, but if you go back like one panel, like immediately the previous panel, he has the fire on. So I don't understand. This is do you see like what I'm talking about here? If King's ability to get hurt is dependent on the flame existing, like being there on his back or not, then why wouldn't he have? I mean, sure, like he'll get rid or he'll speed up and like intentionally lose it, but why didn't he have the flame on back then? Can he consciously use it? Can he consciously decide when to like take it on or off? Because it just seems like kind of dumb and if if again, it seems like on one hand we see like the sword fire, like his sword is on fire and he's using the attack, and the flame on his back is not there. But in the previous panel, we see the blade still on fire and the fire is also still on his back, which means it can't be cut. So that needs to be explained. I don't know. Does he lose it or doesn't he? Because you see where I'm going with this, right? Like why would he decide? Why would he ever decide to get rid of the flame on his back when fighting unless he decides to speed up, right? Like that's not what he was doing at the end of the that's not what he was doing at the end of the fight. So that's something that needs to be explained. I'm just rereading some panels here. This is a pretty. I mean, this is pretty. Like, dude, I love the fucking Imperial Guardian Fire Dragon. Anything with the dragon is, you know how I feel about it. But it's fucking godlike. You know, I wonder if. Yeah, you know, it's funny. I wonder if Oda saw all the Zoro kills Kaido stuff, and then he made King's attack be like he gave him this dragon attack. I mean, King probably has the dragon attack because he respects Kaido so much, right? But I wonder if he did this at this also because he saw like the whole Zoro kills Kaido stuff, and he just decided to have him like cut like a fire version of a dragon here. Soaring Jingoku dragon, damn, sick. Yeah, but I wonder, is King beaten here or not? Seems a little fast. I feel. I don't know. Like again, like I hate to drag this video out more than it should, but I just don't know. Like I kind of felt the same thing. Like as soon as we saw Kaido's power, it's almost like as soon as we saw Kaido's thing, like his awakened Zoan form, almost immediately Oda felt like the need to have Luffy not necessarily one up him, but like really hurt him. And I don't know. I feel like he's not. He's definitely giving. He's definitely showed like Kaido be like a beast and stuff, but I don't know. So quickly, like his coup de grace. I don't know. That's so weird. And I feel like the same thing here with King. Like his mask is gone, and in the same chapter he's beaten, right? Or he may or may not be beaten. Who knows? We'll see next chapter. Huh. But if he is beaten, that means we're probably gonna get not probably we're probably not gonna get Luffy versus Kaido. We're probably gonna get Law and Kid versus Big Mom, right? Yeah, Law and Kid versus Big Mom. I don't know. I mean I can see him be I can see the spoilers for next chapter saying that King is beaten here, but I can also see I can also see him not being beaten because he still hasn't used his awakened Zoan form unmasked. It just seems odd that he wouldn't use it here though. It just really seems odd that he wouldn't use it here. Yeah, so I mean, this is just like this is a cool chapter, but it's very strange. Like I mean, again, it depends on the next chapter. Maybe King gets I mean, maybe their fight is still going on next chapter, but um, yeah, very strange, very weird. And it's also weird because like last chapter, I didn't feel Sanji's final attack against Queen or his deciding attack against Queen. That didn't feel like very deciding move esque to me. So anyway. Anyway, cool chapter though. Cool chapter. Strange, very strange. I don't know. I mean, I like it, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure about some of the implications here. But yeah, no, no, cool chapter. I liked it. Can't wait for the next one. I think we have a break next chapter, so we're gonna have to wait a little bit. But that's it for the chapter. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on my next video. That Shanks video I'm still working on, so I'm not sure when that will come out. Hopefully, I mean, if King is beaten here, then we're fast approaching the climax. So Probably should get to work on that, and well, I am working on it, but I should probably get to a good amount of work on it and put it out as soon as I can. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Take care and have a good night. Bye.